up that pile over there and then bring it back again. So we've got one pile to cover up the next. As it rains down. Pull the roll up, but it's sitting here. So I like to work on loaded twice now, but it didn't pull the roll at all. That's certainly that wide now. It didn't even look like putting it on. What do you want? You didn't like it?
Oh.
Yeah, it was down the bottom, wasn't it? 3 seconds. What's it carrying in weight? What's it carrying in weight?
Didn't notice it. Still,
3 seconds, 3 times. You got many of these in service?
4 in South Africa, and they got orders for another 5, I think, on the back of it. Not just bullshit, but that impressed me. They got rid of all the spreader bars. But Africa's a bit backwards. We have to go against hurricanes and all that stuff here, but I'm trying to get one of these flash waters to have a go, but
What about hoist chain wear? I can see there's going to be hoist chain wear there when it's in that part of the big boat.
Well, the concept of it is to rotate the drag and the hoist. So when the drag rails get shitty, you can put them on the hoist. None of this is proven, it's all theory. I'm not super shit.
Yeah.
But that's the theory, is to have equal length drag and hoist and then rotate them around the shear of the wheel. But also without the spreader bar on the slew, it's very stable. It's in with that inertial mass, the spreader bar.
Yeah.
Once you accelerate that mass, it's flying, you've got a loose on it.
Yeah.
So, and intrinsically chains like that are completely locked. It's good. Our chief engineer has come up with this very smart man, like a lateral thinker, and you just start from the clean sheet, basically.
Seems to get a good fill, and it gets it quickly. Can't have a drive board, you see what you reckon? Better go and get a drink of water in a minute, I'm dying.
Yeah, I've been stuck in the water, I didn't realise how
Yeah, no, we just weren't real sure what you had planned for the hoist, so we just nutted it out.
Yeah,
turned those lower shackles over so it pivoted at the pivot point rather than up the shackle.
when I left the machine, I thought he still said he had to ship all that dirt with the other bucket seat.
Oh, right, and that's okay. We're fucking around here, you know.
Yeah, I didn't expect...
no, it's alright, we just weren't real sure how you wanted it, but we did how we thought, and it looked alright.
No, you did good, huh?
We took one shackle out, and the spreader bar out, and turned the big shackle on your hoist coming over.
Yep.
So it actually pivots on the trunnion pin, not on the top of the shackle then.
Yep, that works like it would do.
It works good, yeah.
It works like a trunnion.
Like a trunnion link would, yeah.
It's a shame Ben and Desmond's gone, but you're passing on from you.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We've got the video camera running at the moment. We give our feedback on how it feels and how it works and how it drives.
Yeah.
And then they use that in relation to correlate all that sort of stuff. With the figures that they get miles and miles of data off that machine about all sorts of things. And then they put that all together and come up with their thing.
These buckets have been sweating on these because this is their first chance to do this.
Seems to be doing it pretty well. Being a fabricator, but I tell you honestly, personally, for me, I don't like spare arches. Never have. But personally, for me, I like the round arches because there's less aggression on any. If you get a rough operator that wants an upright spare arch, that, a fabricated arch, and built, fabricated again, you know, and whereas the cast arch, if you do some damage there, it's a big job to repair. With a fabricated arch, you can repair them fairly easily.
And it's new again.
And it's new again, yeah.
You just cut out all the
So, if it was me that was building it, I'd like to see some sort of a rounding off the front, back sides of the arch raft.
We did some round bars on there. We put solid round around the front of the arch. It essentially gives it a round profile. It's still not obviously like a round arch.
No, but at least it gives a round lead-up profile, and on the back of the arch as well. But those guards, that guard you got on your ankle link, the centre ankle link for a single dump rope, is that a standard fitment or is that?
That's small.
Yeah. So that's pretty big. Yeah.
That's that's hickory guard. That is.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no. Well, boy, then I was just thinking about this. That other bucket would be ideal. That one there would be ideal for a little quite big.
Well, I reckon. Well, small bucket. Up to 51, that's the best data we've got. Our best bucket is on 1470, but we've got 35s running around.
Yeah.
That's in yellow, and we set records here. 2 years in a row, 12 months on the machine without any young.
What's that on the 1300?
1300.
It's all pictures similar to the 1200. That's the 1300. That's
Beautiful bucket.
That's that one.
Yeah, that's gene pool. It's not big. But we can do it in that. We can do anything. That's the whole thing. We can start clean sheets on any project. Because there's no trying to make it work.
But your buckets are made in South Africa and sent over here. How does that compare with cost delivery from a locally constructed one?
No, what we'd probably do is make them in Shanghai and then assemble them here. It depends. I've made a lot of buckets here at Mackay, P&H, built them for me, then ABC, G&M, and I've not really got a strong opinion on that. I'll get the costings in, and it shouldn't come to get the customer because they're all built to the same standard. Well, it's not in our interest to not.
Oh, no. I mean, we haven't got the checkbook for you, and I know that I've got the checkbook. All we can do is get our recommendation and that's what it is. So both like that bucket in this is the bucket. It comes down to the figures too, I mean what figures they get.
Correct.
And then, as with every place, the bottom line comes down to what the bottom line is.
Correct. Well, I know that as far as price-wise, we're considered.
Well, you wouldn't even need consideration if you weren't.
Yeah, we're competitive. Even with all that foolishness been going on with those other two, we've been stable. Steel's dropping now, so that helps us.
That helps you out.
Helps us immensely.
And if you're sourcing steel with the majority of standard good grade steel and you're sourcing it from cheaper country, well actually, that's got to help as well.
Our input costs are quite high because all the steel is SSAB Swedish. There's no substitute steel. They're all SSAB. And World Ox 700 in the arch.
Oh, okay.
So it's all high quality certified steel.
I've got to turn